Hmm. Cool. What I will do is I'm going to start creating a workspace from scratch. I'm going to use that as a tool to, we're live, right? Yeah, I'm going to use that as a tool to start exploring, right? I mean, this is going to be, it's going to be knowledge, knowledge tomography. And essentially what we're doing is we are doing, it's a space, designed to basically to accompany my journey into um, the field of knowledge tomography. I think this doesn't really exist officially as a field, but essentially what we'll be focusing on is on trying to, so we're trying to answer the question, we are trying to answer the question, um, we're trying to answer the question, can I does pers does person X know? No, we're trying to answer the question, what does person X know? I mean, this is a very, it's a very broad question. Okay, guys, give me a second. I think baby. So we got a baby sleeping here with us. So I actually might have to. No, I think it's okay. Anyway, so we're trying to answer the question, what does person X know? Okay, and and these like this I think that's the broadest question that we can approach, but we're going to be focusing on something maybe a little bit more, first of all, a little bit more, mm, a little bit more specific, and then we'll see whether we grow, how do we grow this map. Okay. But I'll be exploring these by, first I'm just gonna create something and I'll call this basically knowledge tomography. Let's see what happens. Tomography. Um, and let's do something like this, and let's just see what we get. Okay. I'm not so sure we're gonna get something interesting. I don't know whether there's anything here that we can use. I'm also going to be looking at something around um a very concrete thing that I want to go here, right? So something here around, for example, um reading brain activity, right? Reading brain activity, or deep brain activity. Let's do these first like these. It might be so that we need to break this down differently, okay? So right now, what do we have here? So we have introduction to knowledge tomography, probing latent knowledge, mapping personal knowledge, synthesizing tomographic knowledge. I think that is not going to be mapping personal. I have to wait until it's done so that I can actually save it. So we're going to have reading brain activity. Again, what I'm using this tool right now, which is usually, I envision that as a knowledge authoring tool. Um, I'm using it to explore really where I want to go first, right? Um, temporal dynamics, yeah. So I think this is going to be an interesting point to start, and I might actually just scrap these later on. Um, reconstructing knowledge models. I'm not so sure that's going in the right direction, but let's take a look at it. So we've got here reading brain activity as one thing, and I want to, what I want to do is I want to basically um I mean, let's write down some goals, right? I don't know if that, I think that keeps working asynchronously. Yeah, I think that's actually implemented well. Let's maybe let's wait just in case. Let's think about this. Or maybe let's just take some notes first. We're just gonna be adding some notes here. So first we're gonna be doing some goals, and then goals. Okay, then I'll move them eventually to the goals here. We'll see. I mean, we're just constructing this page right now. So goals will be build a device. I want to be able to build a device that um, that can tell me if I know if I know math, or if I know, let's be specific, if I have knowledge, like I built a device that can tell me if I know math and how well. I mean, that question is like, again, what you're gonna get, what you would get out of a device like that. It's not just like, do this person know math? Yes, no, but to what depth, right? You still then can ask more concrete questions, but it's okay. If I know math, right? I mean, I could ask something like, do I know algebra? Like, do I know the curriculum for algebra of a certain, secondary or school of high school or something like this? Build a device that can tell me if I know math. I think it's naively enough formulated that can help us understand a bit more. So I want to build a device that can do that, like an actual physical device, right? This is one thing that we want to do. What do I need to build to achieve these, right? So this would be something that I could explore somewhere else here. When I say I want to do, I want to be able to build a device that can tell me if I know math, and I can, let's do something like this. Or let's do a different approach. Let's take something that is small first, right? So let's go small, and then we can break things out here. Let's see what actually happens if maybe maybe we can get some sources from the web. Let's not go ahead with that yet. Let's create those 5 blocks first, and then we move this node over here, and we go here and let's try to read through some of these. So this is reading brain activity for knowledge inference. Explore neuroimaging and neural decoding methods that reveal latent knowledge states without explicit elicitation. Okay, this is interesting. This distant extension complements foundational tomography and profile synthesis by adding physiological signals as an orthogonal dimension for mapping what person X knows. Then we have the decoding semantic maps from neural signal patterns, fusing multimodal neural markers for knowledge states, fusing multimodal neural markers, inferring knowledge depth from multiscale neural oscillations. How frequency-specific brain rhythms reveal graded accessibility of stored knowledge beyond binary presence. This complements multimodal. I mean, this is definitely very interesting. Correlating electrophysiological spikes with knowledge accessibility. Calibrating individual neural baselines for knowledge readout. This is good. I think that's actually very good. Here we have something like Introduction to Knowledge Tomography Foundations, being the journey into knowledge as systematic mapping of what person X knows across domains, explore core questions, scope, and initial frameworks. This could be an interesting initial exploration. Mapping personal knowledge boundaries and gaps, fusing boundary gaps, synthesizing tomographic knowledge, profiles across dimensions. Practice validating reconstructions for consistency, depth, and latent gaps while advancing beyond foundational concepts. I mean, those are valid islands, I'll say. here now, when I'm talking about build a device, it can tell me if I know math. What do I get? Prototyping a personal device for math knowledge readout. Sensing prototype that fuses lightweight neural trajectory forecasts with elicitation probes to indicate whether mathematical concepts are currently accessible. Calibrate. Architecting on-device algorithms for math. No, I think a problem is that this is not really what this is telling me is this is bullshit. I think this is BS, right? So personalizing math, this is definitely BS. I want to be able to delete that. Can I delete that guy? Yes, delete this block. Delete. Field testing. I mean, this is just like, okay, so this is just basically how I would build it, and I don't know. This is validate, like architecting, validating, and whatnot. I think I want to get rid of these. Can I just do multi? Yeah, I can just delete all these guys. This I don't like these. I don't like the way this expanded. Like, I would like to expand this block rather in a direction. Let's do a small expansion first. I thought the expansion would let me. I need to add modifier prompt the expansion functionality. Play versus build, by the way. This is actually, we're going to change, I'm going to change these player, play and build. We're now in build mode and this is play mode, right? I mean, let's see what happens if I expand these. If it's going to get in the same direction or not. I don't, it's not expanding the way that I want to. It's expanding too much around just the meta concept of building a physical device, right? It's just doing selecting, integrating, and I don't like that. I think that's definitely not good. What I want to do is I want to decompose that into how can I how can I get there, right? So here we've got reading brain activity, but maybe the way to do this is for me to actually just breach these two guys. Validating, no. Design intuitive, no. You see? I'm not happy about this expansion. Not happy at all about this expansion. So what I'll do, what I'm gonna try is I'm gonna try to see what happens if I get this guy here. What happens if well, let's build a breach from here to here. See what happens? And then let's build one from here to here, see what happens. I just want to see if I by breaching these guys I get a more interesting expansion. Like I'm giving it more context and it's helping me understand better what I need to do. Although I'll be honest with you guys, it's rather simple. This means what we probably need to do is if we want to be prototyping a personal device for math knowledge readout, Uh, it's something. The way that I imagine this is something that is rather sensing. Like what I want to do is explore, real, open-ended, and timed. Okay, what did we get here? So we got from neural readouts to wearable math knowledge, translating neural inference signals into wearable math sensors. This makes no sense. I think this has a tone of I'm going to teach you something that already exists, and that's not what I want. Maybe I need to modify the prompt a little bit. This definitely has the wrong tone to these. Okay, gonna go get the baby. Give me a second, guys. Mm, go, go, go. I think I also need the bridging. Okay, so what if I do these, and these are gone, right? So we delete these guys. Can I still bridge this guy and this guy? Ah, yes, I can actually have a bridging prompt, which is what I want. Um, help me connect. Help me connect. Um, what I want to do is I would like to connect. I'd like to know. So we go from reading brain activity to building that prototype. Those are obviously things that we first need to figure out how to read things and build the prototype. That's good. But what I want to know is I want to bridge it from the perspective of uh, of what I need to learn, explore. Um, if I need to learn and explore at the level of what needs to be read out and how one needs to or how yeah what needs to be read out, and because that's what we're trying to do, right? So we're trying to see, okay, so fine, we can explore reading brain activity, then we need to be able to get to prototyping a device, but I want to know what needs to be measured. I want to know um yeah, be it from the perspective of what I need to learn, explore at the level of what needs to be read out. And that also implies going deep into even if not feasible nowadays with current tech. I mean, that's let's see if that actually generates a better breach. This one here is pretty crappy, likely too. So foundations and having personal profile consistency as the measure prerequisite, foundational tomography principles guiding Device prototypes. I mean, that's not too bad. Tomography foundations as blueprint for math device. Foundation to prototype pipeline. No. Those are blah, 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 blah. Those are crap stuff. So these definitely I don't. I'm just going to trash the whole breach as well. Definitely not good one. Okay, so what do we have now? So here we have what math knowledge and dimension device must read. Personal math knowledge, right? Clarify which Latin structures, concept mastery, precision, fluency, exactly. As its brain readouts must target. What math knowledge signal device must ultimately read. Ideal math knowledge signals beyond current readout feasibility. Ideal brain readout. They feel. I mean, I don't like the way this was breached is actually pretty crappy. I have to admit, this was it's very stretched. Maybe what that's telling me though is that there's not so much you need to do really. What math knowledge? Um, so what dimensions must be read out? Like what Latin structures? Okay, procedural fluency, gap boundaries, retrieval accessibility, brain activity, inference must target. Yeah. So what are we trying to understand? What knowledge fastest brain readouts must target? I think this is crap. I think that goes away. This could be interesting to learn. Ideal brain readouts. No, this is crap. And so I think we're talking a bit more adjacent here with at least we're going to be doing. Yeah, so maybe I'm just taking that structure gone. And I'm just gonna take these guys, move them a bit away from here, create different structures, and that's definitely gonna be here. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's what we're doing. It's just maybe not worth the breach here, really. So if we're doing prototyping these, so we're gonna do math knowledge signals. So we'll explore Latin structures basically. I think we can just basically say we're gonna explore Latin structures. Um, and I don't know if I have anything about Latin structures. You know what I should do? Actually, that's a good feature here. Latin. So I should search across, like suggest, yeah, suggest where in the map. I want to know. That's a new feature. Like, do we have anything about Latin like features to explore our map? Example. Uh, find me blogs about Latin structures. And then ideally what I want to happen here is I would like that it just highlights the like things that are close to these. This is sort of, I mean, this is sort of similar, right? That's more theoretical. I think what I'll end up doing, to be honest, I think is that these things are actually very, very similar. And I don't know if I'm just gonna treat them as the same cluster. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna move these guys close by and the node, because it is, if you pay attention, we've got here localizing cortical sources of encoded knowledge, which we're gonna need for this kind of stuff. That's cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. Now let's do some. Let's explore here. what topics we're gonna get here. I almost feel like I need to pay a place dedicated to like just a baseline of brain readout technology. What's the state of the art thing, right? And then we take it from there. I think reading brain activity for knowledge inference. Maybe before doing these, because that's focused on knowledge inference, right? So here, these guys are basically knowledge inference. Maybe what I want to do first is so this knowledge inference. What I want to do first is just the most basic. That's the most basic. Let's do something here around like current brain activity readout tech overview. I will use that to then expand on topics. I mean, we can do something initially like this, and I'm gonna start here. I think I will start here. Here we've got finally what were we getting here? I want an area summary. You know what I mean? I want an area summary. I think I'm gonna have a tool that if I select blocks, it just tells me here what the summary is, like an area summary, I think. Um, I want that feature. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good one. So, all connectivity readouts, limitations, incorporating principles, comparing invasive versus. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. I think I have to wrap it up, guys. Here. Give me a second. it up here, but I just realized what I want to do. What I'm gonna build now after this stream is I'm gonna build like rabbit hole as a tool actually. So I'm gonna here I'm gonna have another drawer. At some point I'm gonna run out of space to have drawers here, guys, because then I have less and less space to show things. I'm gonna have another drawer. It's either gonna be another drawer, local content generator, dynamic goals, maybe a compact dynamic generator or something like this. Or I'm gonna do something where I want a tool that lets me do some more controlled drilling. Or, you know, an expand block. I think I'm gonna expand block and I'm gonna have here like a rabbit hole button. Because I want to expand this block, but I don't know exactly how, right? So I can either let the AI use these, do these for me, or I can do a deep dive, an expansion, a manual expansion, which will be like the rabbit hole. So essentially, expand block will be like, which is what I want to do. I want to dive into these. I want to expand. I want to basically expand it, right? So I want to have a rabbit hole that takes me down the depths of like, how could I break this down? Yeah, and that's gonna then be like something that I do here maybe, and then kind of lets me select, and then lets me select things that I want to expand in here, right? Like I can select how deep I want to go. I want to go this deep, right? And so I can select, I can, yeah, instead of randomize, I can just rabbit hole, right? And I can select how deep I want to go, and I can go rabbit hole, and then basically once I'm deep enough, I can select the stuff that I want, right? And I can place them in here. Although maybe I'm just not happy with these, and I just don't select as many topics, or I don't select any at all. You know? And I can basically just commit selection, and that's it, and that will be the expansion. I think that's a very interesting tool. So I'm going to be the rabbit hole for building, and then I'd like to have like a rabbit hole tool for the person to for play mode. I mean, this could be interesting as well. A rabbit hole for play mode as well. That I can expand block, edit, like in practice options. Maybe basically have rabbit hole as an option. And rabbit hole, what rabbit hole does is it kind of expands that for the player, maybe. I can think of these. I can think of these later. I can build a rabbit hole for the creator mode first. So it's gonna be creator and player, right? We said play builder mode. So we're gonna have like the build mode here and play mode. Okay, guys, wrapping it up here. Baby, we need some food. Bye bye.